I kind of want to switch gears here. A lot of times it's episode 8. We really missed y'all. This episode 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sitting here with my co-host Slimmy.
What's happening, world?
And I'm Latasha Marie. You know about what's in today's world. So remember, you can subscribe. Switch gears here. A lot of times in relationships, especially relationships that are on the decline, a lot of people think that sex can save a marriage. Hey y'all, welcome back to I'm Just Saying. I'm your host Tasha, and this is your host
Slimmy. What's happening, world?
What's up, y'all? We have an awesome topic for you on today. Again, this is episode 5 of season 2. So just make sure before you get good and comfortable, you subscribe, and more importantly, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment box below. Make sure you click our Patreon link in the description box as well. And just donate whatever you can so we can keep these videos flowing. And of course, keep getting your opinion and comment on what you think about the show. So today, we're going to change it up a little bit more because we like to do it different. We talk about relationships a lot on this show. So what I want to focus on today is the aftermath. The aftermath of, a relationship. The aftermath of, you cheating and you stepping out on your significant other. And what now? What do we do at this point? How do we conduct ourselves on social media? Being that we are in this relationship, being that we are in this marriage. So again, we're going to talk about the aftermath of relationships and what you should do as far as tips before you get into another relationship if you are in the dating world like myself. So I'll let Slimmy go ahead and get us going, warm us up a little bit.
What I do? How would I?
Sure.
How would I get over
the aftermath after you cheated?
After I cheated.
But you want what you have back at home, right? You want your wife, you want your girlfriend, you want your boyfriend, you want your husband.
Who cheated? Me? I'm talking about somebody else who cheated. You know what I mean?
Hypothetically, whether it's you or the other person.
Okay.
But you both want the relationship, right? It's the aftermath.
Okay.
After it happened, how do you build that trust again? Like, what tips would you give our viewers on what they could do to build that trust? Y'all want each other. Y'all know y'all meant for each other, but one made a mistake or both made a mistake and stepped out of that relationship. Now we're coming back together on a clean slate. We've chopped and removed our side situations, and this is the aftermath. So
So the side's gone.
Size is gone. When we like, listen, I'm in it to win it.
Alright.
I messed up, you messed up, or just the one person messed up. What can we do now moving forward to build trust? What can we do to establish that trust again?
I believe, you know what I'm saying? Really, I feel like you have to open up your heart to wanting to trust, you know what I mean? Again, you know what I mean? Because you can say, I'm going to trust somebody, but you're not open to do it. I don't think you're going to do it.
Right.
But for me, if I need to get some trust back, you know what I mean? I guess I just have to talk to her and, you know what I mean? And let her know exactly how I feel and feel like, let her know that whatever will happen, it really ain't worth being without you forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if you can make that if you can state that and let her know deep enough, and you know what I mean, the way she feel it, you know what I mean, that, you know what I mean, I feel like that'll be about the only way. But you know what I'm saying, but she definitely gotta feel it, you know what I mean. You gotta keep on proving and keep on drilling, you know what I mean?
Right.
Through that rock, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying, after that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it could be smooth sailing.
Okay. I agree with that. I completely agree. I think also consistency is the biggest thing. After a cheating situation, after a side dude, side chick type scenario in a relationship or in a marriage, I feel like, you have to be consistent. Prove it to me that you won't do it again. Show me, by just being consistent. If you tell me you're somewhere, I want to trust that you are at that place. Not, you've said, hey, in the past you were over here at your friend's house, but you're really over there with her. So being consistent and saying what you mean and meaning what you say, meaning being honest, about everything, just being open, I think will help at least the beginning stages of mending a relationship. Now, what's your view on like social media as far as relationships? Like, do you think flirting is okay while you're in a relationship? Because some people may say, well, we're not married. He's not my husband. That's not my wife. They don't have a ring on their finger. And I didn't commit before God and my family. So it's okay if I send a little kissy heart or the heart eyes every now and again to somebody DM. It's not that big of a deal. And then you got those that's like, nah, we're in a relationship. We're building towards marriage or something more serious and long term. So it's not okay. So what would you say as far as like flirting on social media while you're in a committed relationship? Would you say it's okay, or would you say like boundaries to that?
The old me would be like, hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, just flirting, you know what I mean? You just flirt.
Right.
But now, since I know that it can just start out being something small, but then after that, you flirting with somebody else, and it's like you can just be flirting, but then that person on the other end might, take it and then come back, and then next thing you know, y'all get to rapping, and that's how it happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it can go farther than the flirting.
Than flirting, right?
You know what I mean? Or like you can get into an argument with your significant other, and then that person right there that you was flirting with just come out of the blue and say the right things, and now y'all rapping. So yeah, so I don't think that you should. You know what I mean? Right now, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too easy. You know what I mean? It's like, and once you do that, it's always. Social media is like never ending. It's gonna be somebody else. Then it's gonna be somebody else. Then it's gonna be somebody else. So, and it's a whole lot of them too.
It is, especially if you're on like POF and like Black People Meet and different dating websites and social medias. I mean, it's plenty out there to choose from.
Yeah, so how you feel about it?
I mean, my view on it is. I don't agree with it at all, especially if you are in a relationship. But I also feel like that should be established like during conversation when you're establishing that foundation again, like we talked about. Establishing that foundation in a relationship, I think those things should be discussed. So I think like with this episode right now being the aftermath, a lot of times what people do is just automatically assume when we become boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife that this person has the same requirements as me or they have the same boundaries as me. And maybe their definition of cheating is the same as me. It's not. When you start courting somebody and you're talking to somebody, you have to establish that stuff in the beginning. Like, what do you consider cheating? I may say you sent that girl heart eyes on Instagram. That's cheating to me, right?
It was Valentine's Day.
But you may say, I don't consider that cheating. I didn't pull my pants down and become intimate with this woman. I don't know this woman from a can of paint. I saw a picture and a heart, and I sent some heart eyes emojis under it. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? But it happens a lot, especially with married couples. I mean, you got ministers, you got pastors, you got regular everyday men, DMing people, direct messaging, or leaving comments, or leaving emojis saying wow and stuff like that, and they have a wife, but they're on social media, lusting over or just being kind of like just mesmerized by somebody, you know, they don't even know. So, I mean,
social media is like, I don't know, it's crazy because, you know what I mean, like back in the day, like, you know what I mean, like you be seeing on TV, you be seeing all the girls, you know what I'm saying, on TV, but you know what I'm saying, you can't really talk to them, you know what I mean? But now social media, you see all that right there, it's like that.
And like, it's a click away.
I mean, I don't got to go on my, I go to my Facebook right there.
So you just zombie walking?
Yeah. And I even hit like before you know it. Born in America.
Right, right.
Let me get her what she deserved hard.
You see, you're not right. Listen, the key of it is at the end of the day, if you want to build trust with somebody that you've already broken a trust pact with, whether it was a side situation or you just stepping out on them one time, one night stand, whatever the situation is, that is not conducive to building a relationship back up that has been broken. So I would suggest, if you are building and trying to reconstruct your relationship, don't do anything that would make your significant other feel not only insecure, they doubt and trust, they can't fully trust you. And you know, comment under girls' pictures, emoji, you know, eyes and stuff like that. That kind of stuff, again, it just further breaks down the foundation. So you're emotionally pushing her further and further and further away from you, or vice versa. You know, so at the end of the day, if you really want to rebuild something that has been broken, don't do anything suspect. Don't do anything that will compromise that relationship. Compromise, okay? So at the end of the day, men, women, if you're watching and you messed up and you slipped up, you know, with whoever, but you want that person back, you need to do whatever it takes. And I mean that in the sense of being committed, and I mean that in the sense of being honest and communicating. Because communication is the biggest thing in a relationship. And a lot of relationships fall or crash and burn because there's a lack of communication. You're not talking enough. Hey, so now that I know your view on cheating, so you do agree that those emoji eye, the heart eye emojis, is considered a form of cheating. Can we agree on that? Yeah. No, we don't agree. Okay. So that's the conversations that need to be had so that you'll be on the same page, you know, as far as what's expected of you, and how I view something and how you view something is going to be two different ways. And so we got to come to the round table with both aspects and say, okay, this is what it is and this is what it isn't.
Yeah, I know a few dudes, you know what I mean, like, you know, when they had, you know, saying they went through that situation or whatever.
Right.
You know, but once they got back to getting their situation right, you can't even find them on Facebook no more. I'm like, boy, yeah. He said, well, I don't fool around with that Facebook no more. Cause
hey, that's a smart.
It's that cause problems.
Yes.
Yeah, so, exactly, man. If you can't control it, you can't control it, you might have to get off the social media. You know
right. And if you know that you're, as they say, you know, everyone has boundaries. If you know that your spot or your boundary is social media, and you're like, hey, you know, I love my woman. Hey, I love my man. But, you know, when I get on Facebook, it's just something I can't control. Like if I see a beautiful woman, I'm going to leave a comment that she may not have fully agree with, or a comment that may make her feel some sort of way. So if you know that is somewhere in an area where in your relationship where you're the weakest, then deactivate the page. Get rid of the Instagram. Get rid of the Facebook. I mean, it's not important. I mean, think about it. Our grandparents and their parents survived and had relationships and marriages that lasted 40 and 50 years without internet, period. Without the internet age at all. And that's mostly why those relationships last. Because they didn't have the easy access to this person and that person. And again, that they didn't have to worry about the many options out there. So, I mean, that's where I stand with it. You gotta communicate.
Yeah, and fellas we gotta believe that we can do it. Like sometimes when you're in a relationship and it fail, you know what I mean, or y'all break up or whatever. Sometimes we don't like all that being like being consistent and all this and feel like we gotta work. Like sometimes we don't really believe in that because we don't believe that something gonna happen if we don't see it right now. You know what I mean? Like if we are, especially if you done did something wrong, you be like, I'm not about to be sitting over here doing all this, and I don't even, what I just did, I don't expect you to, but I hope you do. So we just be like, all right, we just give up and just go somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I would say, if you really want it, then you gotta stick in there, because I know the man pride, we don't be doing like that. It was like, you just gotta prove it to me. Like, man, I done told you what I gotta do all this.
No, it's more, and that's another thing. It is more to a relationship than just saying something with your mouth. Yeah. It's actions, right? Actions gotta follow the words. You can't say, I ain't doing this no more. Well, I did that one time, but that sounds good, but you have to back it up with some actions. So if you know that you really want that woman back, and you want your wife back, you want your girlfriend back, whatever the situation is, you have to show it by walking it out. Woman doesn't want to sit here and hear you talk. And a lot of times when you messed up a lot, they kind of block you out. At a certain point, you're just talking to the wall. They're not listening, because their attitude is like your actions are not lining up with all of what you're saying right now. Saying you're going to do better and be a better man, and actually being a better man is two different things. It takes action. It takes action. And even if you do all of this stuff and you still don't get her back, at least you tried. At least you did everything you could, and you can walk away from a situation saying, I ain't got no regrets, because I messed up. She did want to give it a chance, but for whatever reason her heart wouldn't allow herself to open up to that. I messed up, so that was the chance I took when I stepped out on her. But I'm willing to make it right. I'm willing to make it better, and I'm willing to come back and make it work. So you got to be consistent with your actions, right? And then you got to start being honest and open with your communication too. So if you say you're going to be doing this or doing that, do exactly what it is you say you're going to do. Yeah. Otherwise, if you don't really want the relationship, just, let her know, so she can then make a decision as to what she wants to do. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, it may bring tears. But at the end of the day, you got to be honest. You got to be honest with not just your other person that you're dealing with, but with yourself. You got to be honest.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
I agree with that.
So again, y'all, if you're just tuning in, this is the aftermath episode. We're talking about after the cheating, after the roller coaster in a relationship. Now what? What can I do to repair it and fix it? Right. So let's go on to, how to recover from a breakup. Yeah. How do we bounce back from that? What are some tips that you personally applied to your life after a breakup?
Me?
Yeah. After a breakup.
I'm gonna be real. I just went and got a lot of women. You know what I mean? Somebody gotta help me. And you know what I'm saying? The women, to get over a woman, you go get another one. You know what I mean? And it's like, it might not be that you really trying to be with these women, but you with these women, they you know what I'm saying, they build.
They're distractions, basically.
They're distractions, and by this time, you know what I'm saying, you start getting over it and getting stronger and stronger. So you know what I mean, that's how I always deal with it.
Okay. So moving on and just getting with other women is a tip.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it ain't really a tip, but it's.
That's what you. That's something that happens, right?
And then a female, she be like, you don't care because you went and messed with all these girls. Hey, I had to do what I had to do to make it through. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing against you, but this is how we get through it. You know what I mean? So. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it.
Okay. My tip would be to give it time. Time heals all wounds, right?
Yeah.
Just give it some time. Give yourself time to go through whatever emotions you need to go through, because if you've been into a relationship, especially for a long time, like a long-term relationship, like 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 up to 10 years, 12 years, even women that are newly divorced, this is advice for you too. Just give it time. Give yourself time to be single and get to know yourself all over again, right? Get to know you, the you that you were before that relationship, before the cheating, before that really, really bad breakup. Get to know yourself, right? And then, of course, my other tip would be, find inner peace, right? So whether that's yoga, whether that's going to the gym and working out, whether that's, going on a nice run in the mornings, whether that's, finding your quiet place and going to talk to God in that quiet place. Find your inner peace, whatever that may be. Because again, you're trying to center your spiritual side. You're trying to establish and again, get that recentered back to its original state of what you are and who you are. And you're trying to find yourself. So again, those are just some suggestions. But again, those are my tips. That's what I would suggest. Give it time, because in time you will find yourself. You will find that inner peace. And then my last tip would be to forgive that person. Okay? Because a lot of times we can do all this other stuff. We can work out and get our body snap back, as they say, and get our revenge body, which is another new term I've been hearing a lot lately. And you may just be the baddest thing walking, right? You got yourself back together. You're emotionally stable, but you're still carrying that unforgiveness in your heart. So this is for everybody. Men, women, ex-husbands, ex-wives, whatever. You need to find it inside. So even if you wrote a letter to this person and sent it to them, saying whatever you want, just pour out everything in your heart, pour it out. Or send them a message on social media. Or if the person is no longer alive, I would suggest writing a letter and burning it. And by burning it, you're signifying release. You're signifying letting it go and no longer holding on to it, right? So the smoke in the air is a signal of releasing it and letting it go into the atmosphere. No longer being on yourself, no longer being in your being, and allowing yourself to kind of clear the air. So those will be my tips of what you can do to forgive and let go. But I mean, you gotta take some initiative to build yourself back up. You can't stay in that negative space. You can't allow yourself to be depressed and go into a state of pity. So another thing I want to touch bases on is we did mention consistency, and we also mentioned being reliable, dependable when it comes to building trust in your spouse and significant other. So again, comment, you guys. Let us know your opinion and your view on everything that we're discussing up until this point, because we do want to hear your views and we do want to know what your opinion is on this topic.
Yeah, and sometimes when you going through and y'all breaking up to get over it, sometimes you got to send that nasty text message cussing them out. You just got to get it off your chest.
Gotta get off your chest, whatever that is, right?
You got to, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
And then I feel like where there's arguments, it's like you also, if you really care about the person and y'all arguing, even though y'all might be saying it in a certain kind of way, it might not be a good way. If y'all really listen to it, and you be like, man, she just blank, but I really just heard what she said.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but if you're not even really talking, you know what I mean? So therefore, sometimes the arguments, I rather argue than have solid treatment, because at least I know what's going on. You know
right.
What I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you might have to argue a little bit and figure out what's going on. By this time, now you know what to change. But if you ain't made her mad enough for her to speak and talk junk to you, you ain't gonna know what to change.
I mean, if she ever gets to the point of shutting down, you are in the danger zone, because that could mean several things. When a woman shuts down, it either can mean I'm through, I'm done, I don't even feel like fixing it. So you do whatever you want to do, because I'm going to do what I want to do. That's what that can mean. That's that cutoff point where you're like, enough is enough. We've reached our breaking point. Everybody, it's done. So it can either mean that, or it could just mean, you know what? I'm so angry at this man right now. If I continue to speak, I will call him every name under the sun except a child of God. So instead of disgracing him with my words, I'm going to wait till I'm calm and more at peace and more relaxed, to where I can actually have a conversation without screaming at this man or cussing him out. And I mean literally letting him have it. So it can mean that too. Or the silent treatment could just simply be on, it could be a sense of, he made a point, he was right. What he said was right. And I can't even argue with this man, or I can't even say anything back against this man because what he just said was true. He basically read me like he read me to a T, and he called me out on my stuff. And because he called me out on my stuff, even though I didn't want to hear it, I'm quiet. I'm hush mouth. What can I say? He done called me out.
Yeah. It don't happen too often, fellas.
It don't.
We do get us one.
When you get you a win, you better hold on to
it. We be dancing too. I done hit her with that shit. Hey, we gotta call her home with Aiden.
I know. I already know.
She couldn't even say nothing.
Man, I done shut her down. Yeah. She got quiet for the rest of the night. She ain't saying nothing else.
I'm still thinking about it.
That don't happen too often. That don't happen too often, but again, so those are the main 3 reasons why, we may get quiet on a man. But again, if you're trying to build a relationship, just remember, men and women, be consistent, be reliable, be honest, and communicate. Talk to your significant other if you're really trying to win this situation and make it work, right? And another thing I kind of wanted to touch on too, at the end of it all, when it's all said and done, you want to make sure that when you're broken up with someone, that you're over them and that you're spiritually, emotionally, and mentally healed from that relationship so you can move forward. So some of you might be saying right now, okay, well, we're talking about the aftermath, Tasha, so tell me a little bit more. Okay, so what would we suggest for you? You that are, the people that are watching right now, what would we suggest for you if you're ready to move on and date again? What are the steps that we take to get back out there, get back into the dating realm? And what can we do to make sure what happened in our past doesn't affect the future and where we're going and who we may possibly, get involved with? We don't want them to pay for something that an ex had done to us 20 years ago. So how do we move from that point to the healing process to potentially moving on and dating or talking to someone else? I'll let you have this one.
I don't know why I'm gonna let you have it back.
Don't do me like that. You don't have anything to suggest to our viewers?
I tell them, moving forward.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know. I just, ain't far as, what I'm saying, just get you another woman. That's the only thing I know.
Okay.
It's like, at the end of the day, you gonna go through, you have to get on the dating scene and you start picking out what you like. And at the end of the day, you gonna have to, somebody gonna stand out. And that one that stand out, she get more time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when she get more time, most dudes, you gonna pick somebody she got the same kind of characteristics as your ex, or you gonna pick one that's totally different. You know what I mean? Because you might not want that no more. You know what I mean? But
right.
So therefore, when you start seeing that character, you be like, all right, well, that's what's up, man. What you do is, if you messed up, you gonna make sure that you know what I mean, that this person that the faces that you seen that you made your other one feel, the faces, the sad faces, you don't want that new woman to see that fact, that other side of you. So therefore you gotta switch it up, you know what I mean? So therefore that face always gonna be happy, and you know what I mean, you be good, you know what I mean? That's all that I can say on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I like that. I like what he was saying there. He was just simply saying, hey, just move on, and eventually after the move ons, I find someone else.
Yeah.
And I would say, before getting into another relationship, ask as many questions as you can, right? And it may just seem like crazy to even say, but ask the questions, right? Up front. There is no need for you to find out after giving this person 2 and 3 and 4 years of your life something that could have simply been answered with a question. Now, I know a lot of people in the beginning when they start dating, they're showing their best face. So they're not going to show you the real them initially. And a lot of times that's what happens in a lot of relationships to why they eventually go south. It's so great and beautiful in the beginning because they have personified themselves to be one sort of way. And then after you've given it time, you realize, oh snap, they are not nothing like what they said they were or what they promised they would be. You know, they're completely different now. So again, I would say ask as many questions. The more questions you ask, the more answers you'll have. And even if they're not honest, eventually if you ask enough questions, or even ask the same questions, just ask them in different ways, eventually they'll slip up and give you the answer. The real answer. Not a fake one, but a real answer, right? And not even realize it. But you got to listen. You got to pay attention. You got to just listen to their answers. And you can even ask the same question several different ways. And if they consistently give you the same answer, then you'll know, okay, that's true. More than likely, that's the truth. Versus asking them the same question similar ways, but then they slip up and end up giving you a different answer like 2-3 times in a row. Then you know, okay, this is inconsistent, and I don't think I can trust that.
You keep on asking the same questions. Oh, you asking me to lie to you.
No, I'm saying in different ways. It's a way you can ask them without, you know, sounding repetitive and, you know, redundant.
I had a female that was doing that. You know what I mean? She was asking me so many questions, and I thought she was damn police. But you know what I mean? I was like, but she already have drinks, and every time I'm like, you just asked me that question for. I might not be a very smart man, but I know what you just asked me this the other night. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I'm like, these questions sound kind of crazy. So what I did, I went on her Facebook page, made sure she wasn't friends with my ex and that. Cause I was like, nah, these questions, like somebody, she knows somebody that know me for you asking all these damn questions.
No, she just wanted to make sure you were consistent.
Yeah, I asked her, was she a private investigator? You know what I mean?
Hey,
but at the end of the day, I respected. I answered every question, regardless. I knew there was different ways that she was saying. I was smart enough to know, and I was like, well, I could tell. But one thing about it, I did respect her for doing it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, she's trying to see what she's getting into.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can ask me as many questions as you want to. I'm not gonna tell on myself.
But in time you will. So whatever that intention is, it will come to light eventually. So
she said I kept a gangster though, so she knows what I'm saying.
Right, and most people respect just the honesty of it all. You know, at the end of the day, just being consistent and reliable, just showing that other person that you want it. Okay, so at the end of the day, just take some of these tips that we've given you guys as far as relationships, the aftermath of it, and how to redeem yourself and go back through the process of redemption into possibly talking to someone else and giving your heart to someone else new. Because that's a hard thing to do. Like, especially if you gave somebody your all, like, it's hard to just turn around and reopen your heart back up again. But you also want to be wise. You don't want to easily open it up in the first week, in the first day. You got to use a little bit of wisdom with it, right? So in time, if this person shows or proves through actions, not words, that they are possibly a good candidate for you and they possibly match what it is that you're looking for, and you guys have similar views in a lot of different areas, whether that's religion, whether that's what do you consider cheating, whether that's, you know, where you grew up at, whether it's, you know, similar backgrounds, whatever the case may be. Just make sure you guys have something in common, something that is relatable to one another, and make sure the person's actions are lining up with what it is that you guys agree on or discuss as far as what's required in that relationship. So I feel like if you do those things, stay centered, stay, you know, consistent, and stay truthful, that you can build something back again. You can build that bridge up that was once broken.
True that. So I'm like, ain't no need to go try to rekindle something, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to make the same mistake twice. Because you still got that person hard in your hand. So therefore, ain't no need to do more damage on top of damage. So if you don't feel like you can really do it, ain't no need to even try.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you feel like you can do it, you know what I'm saying, you get in there, you know what I'm saying, just know that you got delicate goods in your hands, and at the end of the day, shoot, you can go far. You know what I mean? If both people really love each other and you don't want this person out your life forever, then you gotta handle it with care and figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's on both men.
And that goes back to the honesty factor. So you just got to be honest with yourself, right? So when you're finding that inner peace, you got to be honest and open to self and say, okay, self, what is it that I really want? Do I really want this back? Or is it best for me to move forward because I'm still unsure about what it is that I really want right now? And even though it may hurt the person, I'm telling you, just being honest and just telling them the truth will be the best thing in the long run. Yeah. Versus holding someone captive and you don't really have intentions of ever doing right. Yeah. You don't have the intentions of ever stepping up to the plate, being honest, being truthful, being a reliable individual. Like if you don't have the desire for that, maybe you just realize after a couple of months or a couple of years, like we're on two different pages. We're in the same book. That's why we got together, because the books were the exact same. But the pages and the chapters was just completely different ends. Like we're just two different pages. Yeah. So you got to be honest with self and be able to evaluate yourself enough to say, okay, this ain't going to work. Or this is not what I want. I thought I wanted this, but I'm not ready for this. And I don't want to drag your heart into something that I'm not ready for.
And you got to, I was going to say something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like if you do leave, you know what I mean, if you decide that you don't want to do it, don't do it because you feeling like, you know what I'm saying, it's your pride issue. You know what I mean? Like a lot of dudes, we'll do stuff because we got pride. You know what I mean? Right. And at the end of the day, our mind be gone, but our heart still beat up. So right. Therefore, you know what I mean? So therefore, when you actually leave your situation, if you feel like you can do this without no regrets, and you don't want to go back, don't go back. And that's for females too, because females will be like, I ain't tolerating this and I ain't tolerating that. But then, you know what I'm saying, but their heart is still there, you know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
That's what people got to drop their pride and stick it out and see what's up instead of running. Because you can't, your heart's still there. You can go over here with any other female or whatever dude. And when that dude, it's like this. When females, like, I can tell if a female, if she's still, if her heart's still somewhere else, it's like I can just feel it. So right. Therefore, she might be trying to cling on to me. I don't never let her do it. I'm like, you got unfinished business, you know what I mean? But I don't tell her that, you know what I mean? But then sometimes now, since I got older, I'll be like, hey man, you need to go work it out with your baby daddy. And she be like, why are you telling me that, stupid? Why would you say something like that? I'm like, cuz at the end of the day, I can tell, you know what I mean? So therefore, he got more ties to you than me, you know what I mean? Right. I can let you go. He might not can't let you go, you know what I mean? So therefore, obviously you can't let him go, so you need to go out of there. You know what I mean? And it's one girl, she actually did. They back together now, you know what I mean? So, that's good. Yeah, she owed me about $100 for that too. You know what I mean? So
I can't with you.
Yeah.
I cannot. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just saying, I know it's been a while, but we are back at it again. And we'll continue, guys. So just continue to subscribe. Continue to keep watch in our posts as far as uploaded videos. Because we'll definitely keep them coming back to back. But if you have any comments, any suggestions for new topics, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section below. We need to know your feedback and how you feel about it. Also, let us know what you think about tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Like, listen, we can't do it without y'all. So thank you guys so much. Remember to subscribe and remember to hit that Patreon link below. I'm your host, Tasha.
I'm Slimmy.
And we out here, y'all.
And leave your phone numbers below the subscription and subscribe. And don't forget to give us some money. And God bless you.
No. You don't need to do that, ladies.
Man, I'm your friend. I told you.
To play how we gon' win. We don't need to play around.
Is basically a social issue. It's basically for when the male becomes, he's the breadwinner.
I'll be James Brown. Hey, the first nigga be, you know what I mean? That's what happened, bro. See, we was kings when they tilled us over at the motherland. Then they came over here and drove us to the other land.
You don't think it's important for you to communicate that to the person you with?
Things be communicated all the time.
Well, you just said you wouldn't communicate.
No, not to the side chick. You don't gotta communicate too much to them because they already know because you already done talk to them.
Well, you you know, as a woman, these are my requirements. These are the things I require. And I don't ask for too much. I'm not, you know, I'm not one of those hard women to like please. But with what I'm requiring out of you being my spouse or somebody that I'm considering marriage with, I mean, this is the basic stuff. You know, it's the simple stuff. So I mean,
maybe they just weren't able to do it. You know, maybe they wanted to do it, but maybe they just weren't able to. Maybe they knew that damn well they couldn't do it in the first place, but they was like, I'm just not ready to let it go. So I'm gonna ride out till I can't ride out no more. But or maybe they, you know, maybe they just that rough.
It is a rough situation.
What's up, world? This Street Critic TV. We back. You know what I mean? Got our new season going on. What's up, world? We walking downtown. We trying to find some people to interview. You know what I mean? We got some dollars, and we gonna be like 5 questions for $5. Any question you ask, we gonna give you $1 for every question. You know what I mean? So we just about to go around here, world, and ask some crazy questions and some real questions, and see what we get. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup.
Messing with family members?
Yeah, he need to be home. Alright. Alright, okay, yeah, damn. You see how things get deep? This thing get deep right here on Street Critic. Street Critic TV, and then we bring in, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, me, Tasha Marie, you know what I'm saying, we about to do it real big, and then y'all didn't even know that Slimmy be doing his music out here. But if you watch the old shows, then you would know Slimmy be doing music out here. So therefore, man, y'all stay tuned. I'm about to take over a couple shows, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to go in there, headlock them and just take their show over. They can't say nothing. It's all about me, you know what I'm saying, Tasha Marie. So, you know what I'm saying, we about to do it real big, yeah. I love y'all, man. One love. Peace. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of y'all. Good day.
You done won almost all the games.
Yeah. We doing that sometimes. I know. It be like this sometimes, but I ain't got time for that today. It is what it is. And you don't worry about that. You just worry about me whooping it, and whooping it. That's what you worry about. Yeah. Hello? What's going on? I ain't doing nothing chill. I'm over here with my partners. What's that? Nah, man. I ain't even trying to hear that right now, man. Shit. Alright, well, bye. Yeah, I get them when I get them. You already know how she keep going up, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm just go ahead and go, you know what I mean? But we good, all right?
Yeah.
Nah, I know how that face look, man. Don't be like that tonight, man. Don't do that, man. You already know I'm stressed out. Please don't do that.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Go handle your business. Do what you gotta do.
Can I get a hug?
No, but you can see yourself out. Nah, go handle your business. Go on, man. Oh, girl, call me.
Damn, that's cold.
Yeah, love is real. Love is blind. Crazy. Speak. Love
When
is
you
blind.
mad, it's always something. When I'm mad, it's always nothing.
Man from Venus,
When you
women from
mad,
Mars.
it's always something. When I'm mad, it's always nothing. How could that be?
Gotta be some truth
We
to
need to
that.
work it out. When you mad, it's always something. When I'm mad, it's always nothing. How can that be? How can that be? How can that be? How can that be? When you mad, it's always something. When I'm mad, it's always nothing. How could that be? How could that be? How could that be? You just don't understand.
When I'm mad, it's always nothing. When you mad, it's always something. We ain't good unless we. Hold up, girl, don't interrupt me, 'cause you always interrupting. That need the most discussions. You say you speaking, I'm just fussing. A whole lot of talk, but girl, you said nothing.
We need to work it out. We need to work it out. You say you don't understand me, so I'm trying to understand you. And all the girls I've been chilling with, they say they don't understand you. She say I never let you go if you got my back. She say if she ain't with you, then I got your back. She got her hands around my waist, it's like a fanny pack. The way she with me, I don't think I'm coming back, but I keep coming back, trying to fix the situation. Everything we going through, I'm telling you, so basic. It's like a class session and we just cannot ace it. I say the relationship we had, how we gon' ever replace it? Hey girl, my mind is open, I'm trying to make it happen. I'm gonna get this money, bring it back like what is happening. You mad at nothing,